Everybody, thank you. Good afternoon. So thank you for the introduction, Claire. So I'm Hayley Philippault, I'm Head of Technology here at Duchenne UK, and I'm going to be talking to you about our approach in designing innovative assistive technology projects, and also update you on some of the projects we've been working on. And as Claire introduced, be joined in the second half of this presentation by Bouchra, who'll be telling you more about our work in data, specifically what we're planning for our very exciting new Duchenne data platform. First, let's talk about our work in technology. So our mission in assistive technology is really about driving the development of innovative assistive products for people with DMD, which are really going to drive improvements in quality of life. And I guess you could kind of say there are sort of three key principles that underpin all of our work in technology across all of our projects. One, being user-centered. And for us, this really means putting you, the DMD community, at the heart of everything we do, including getting involved in the design process itself. Secondly, it's about being collaborative. So where we find organisations and people who have the expertise or the resources that we think could help, we want to work with them and we bring them on board. And thirdly, we want to be ambitious. We'll always balance cost and speed to market, but at the end of the day, we want the best possible solution that's going to help as many people as possible. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about how we actually go about designing these types of products. We employ an approach that was first put forward by the Design Council in 2003, and it's called the Double Diamond approach. And the kind of essence of this approach is to suggest that there are 4 stages that every project needs to go through. Discover, define, develop, and deliver. And one of the reasons that I really wanted to show you this slide is because for me, what it highlights is the importance of really understanding the challenge that you are taking on. Indeed, it's half the battle in my view. And that diagram really shows you discover and define. Half of that process is really about understanding that challenge. And what that means for us is speaking to you guys, learning about your experience, your hopes and your needs, and making sure that that's really embedded before we move forward. And for us, user-centered design is absolutely at the core of what we do. And in our experience, what that means is that we don't stop listening after the first diamond and we feel that we've understood. We actually have people with DMD and other neuromuscular conditions who are part of our design team. And their involvement really means that we can kind of set the direction of the design, they give this amazing input. But at the end of the day, they make sure that the product that we're designing is actually the right product, not the wrong product. So just to kind of then update you about some of the projects that we've been working on. We have Elevex, our arm assist exoskeleton, Dream Chair, which is our wheelchair project, and Stretch, which is a project looking at calf stretching. So first up, Elevex. The aim of Elevex is to develop an upper body exoskeleton, which is going to support arm movement and allow boys to continue using their arms even as the condition progresses. We've been working on this project since September 2022, and at last year's New Horizons, we showed you some of the prototypes that we've been testing and developing to date. And since then, we've been working with engineers to explore a different concept, and this one is one which is underarm. So it's a bit more discreet, and it sits there. And it's also using what we call a quasi-passive system, which is kind of really a fancy way of saying that it uses your existing muscle strength. It's a sort of augments that, supports it, rather than being some kind of robot arm that's going to drive your arm into different positions. And the aim here is really to create that sense of weightlessness in the arm. We're also making it hybrid, wearable / chairable, which again, slightly other fancy way of just basically saying we want it so that people can either wear it or they can attach it to their wheelchair. And for us, this really sort of represents a real kind of opportunity for it to be flexible to suit different people's needs. It's also going to be very modular, and I know we hear the word modular a lot, but modular in this sense means that we want the design to sort of evolve with you through the journey. So that might mean that you would have one part at one stage, maybe the upper arm, that could then be additional, the lower part, as time moves on. And what that means is that the level of support can actually kind of increase and evolve with you over time. And we have, at the moment, a working prototype of the upper arm sections and the mechanisms that go into that. And we are actually now working on the lower arm section. And part of the next stage also that we're working on is the control system. So we want to integrate quite an intuitive control system that will be able to respond to the different things that you might need to pick up. So the different kind of changes in weight as you might pick up a glass of water and put it down again. And we've been really, really fortunate to have some just amazing support from all of the community, really. And it really felt like it was an important time just to kind of acknowledge that and say thank you, really, to all these amazing people who've supported us on the project to date. So just really wanted to take the chance to say thank you to People's Postcode Lottery, whose Dream Fund enabled us to win 1.25 million and kickstart this project back in 2022. And thank you to our amazing charity partners, to Duchenne Now, Joining Jack, Alexis Wish, and through them, Tom Holland's Brothers Trust. And also, really heartfelt and sincere thank you to all the family funds, Duchenne UK family funds, who've supported us, supported this project. It really does mean so much to us, everyone on the project team, to know that we've got your support. So also we've been developing and progressing the Dream Chair project. And the aim of the Dream Chair project is about driving the development of a better powered wheelchair solution for people living with DMD. And in our research, we've identified kind of three key issues. Firstly, one of stability, particularly kind of going over off-cambered or tree root-laden paths and pavements. Accessing maybe a friend's house, particularly if there's like a small threshold or a shop which has got one step to get in that can prevent you from actually accessing it. And image as well, and how people perceive or thought that others perceived them when they changed from using a manual wheelchair to using a powered wheelchair, and what that might perhaps say about their disability. We also learned that accepting a powered wheelchair can be really hard. Sure, there are loads of really good advantages, more speed, maybe less fatigue, but there are also big drawbacks, right? So they're really heavy, so you can't get them into a standard car. They can sometimes make it even more difficult to get over those curbs and bumps in the road. And we were trying to think about, how can you really kind of approach this? What if we could really present these challenges to wheelchair manufacturers and then turn them around and show them that there are opportunities here to make something better? And so we were saying, can we affect this change through collaboration? And that's what we've been doing. So we've been working with a startup called Centaur Robotics, and we've been looking at whether there's an opportunity here for actually collaboration to innovate. And also last year we briefly mentioned this project Stretch, which is a project that we inherited from Solid Biosciences in the US. And the aim of Stretch is to develop a potential solution that would maybe can support calf stretching for boys with DMD. And even just at this conference, we've been engaging some more physio and clinical input and speaking to people in the community just to kind of really find out how much this could help and how it might need to evolve. In this process, we'll be testing lots of early stage prototypes. That's going to be absolutely essential. And as I mentioned earlier on in the presentation, what's really critical is getting your help to make sure that it meets the user's expectations. Because as we all know, if boys don't like it, they're not going to wear them. So the key takeaways from this half of the presentation really are these. Being user-centered keeps the focus on the real issues to solve. It means that you are designing the right product. Input from the DMD community, from you guys, is absolutely critical to getting it right, and we'll always need your help. And also that by working collaboratively, we have the opportunity to accelerate the development of these projects, and they also potentially offer us a route to market. So now I'll hand you over to Bouchra, who's going to tell you some exciting work in data.
Yes, thank you, Hayley. So I'll be talking about our work in data, and more specifically our patient data platform. So our mission in data is to empower people with Duchenne and their carers to make informed decisions at each step of their journey. So the principles that underpin all of our work is not only across technology but also in data, is to be user-centered. So, we put the Duchenne community at the heart of everything that we do. We make sure that their voices shape our projects. We don't want to work in silos, so we always want to be collaborative. We partner with people and organizations who share our vision, and we work together to create meaningful impact. But also, we strive for the best solutions and aim to deliver the greatest value to as many people in the Duchenne community as possible. So, currently, we are working on the patient data platform. We don't have a name yet for this platform, so if you could please scan this QR code and help us find a suitable name for this platform. We're also working on a project called Paladin, which stands for Patient, Lifestyle, and Disease Interactium. So this project, Paladin, started in January 2024, and it will end in December 2027. And Duchenne UK received a grant of over 500,000. The aim of this project is to collect real-world data from patients with rare neuromuscular diseases globally in an innovative way. And this consortium is made up of 9 partners across 5 countries that we can see over here. And as part of the Paladin project, we will create a data collection platform that will transform how rare diseases are treated with an exemplar UK Duchenne patient data platform that we will launch by the end of this year. So you might be wondering, why do we need a patient data platform? So in the UK, currently, we lack a robust, complete, and high-quality longitudinal Duchenne patient-reported data set that can be used for different purposes, such as supporting research and development and market access of new treatments, and also ongoing evaluation and improvement of clinical care. We will integrate our Duchenne UK flagship programs that we have been working on in partnership with the John Walton Center and unlock their full impact. We will work on their work to date and leverage their networks, the knowledge, the tools, and infrastructure. So this platform will aim to enable better clinical care, enable access and participation in clinical trials. It will support the development of new treatments, empower people with Duchenne and their carers at each step of the journey. So how will it look, what will it be? So this patient data platform will basically be a one-stop shop, providing patients and carers with access to essential tools and information. It will be accessible via both a web portal and an app, and the platform is structured into 3 main modules. So it will contain a registry module, which is a module that, for instance, includes surveys on quality of life, patient-reported outcome measures and experience measures, but also it will give you a patient dashboard where you can see all of your information that you find most useful. It will consist of a care module, so here you will have access to all of the standards of care guidelines, and it includes also the In Case of Emergency app that you've heard about that you can utilize in urgent situation. It will contain as well a research module where users can access resources related to clinical research, such as the Central Recruitment Database and the Clinical Trial Finder that Emma just mentioned. So, what are the key takeaways? We want to really empower the Duchenne community by giving patients ownership of their own data and personalized insights, so they are supported to make informed decisions and hopefully improve their quality of life. We are developing a comprehensive platform that will be a one-stop shop with 3 modules: registry, care, and clinical research, that will be accessible via our web and the app. And lastly, as always, your voice matters. So if you could please join our user champion group and help us design this patient data platform that is most useful for you, to share your experiences, your ideas and feedback, and to really make sure that this platform meets the needs of the Duchenne community. If you're interested, please come and find me. We're here at the conference or email me. And don't forget to scan this QR code for the name of our platform. If there are any questions, I'm more than happy to take them.